Now Guy already feels that something is not quite right. Judging from Sasuke's movements, this guy seems to have become stronger. Xiaoli's accelerated elbow, the original Sasuke couldn't react to such continuous close-to-body attacks. Can only dodge, but now, with his back turned to Xiaoli, Sasuke blocked with his backhand. It was as if he had seen through Xiaoli's attack style. And look carefully at Sasuke's eyes. As a member of the Uchiha clan, Sasuke hasn't even opened the Sharingan yet. In this case, he was able to block Xiaoli's attack. But it seems to be okay. This kid seems to have not opened the blood successor limit of the Uchiha clan. Otherwise, this battle will become more difficult. The fight with Xiaoli lasted for more than 10 seconds. However, a scene that surprised Tiantian, Neji and Guy happened immediately. Sasuke actually caught Xiaoli's fist directly, and launched a counterattack for the first time. Boom! A dull impact sounded, and Xiaoli was forced to retreat. Sasuke's blow hit Xiaoli precisely. Although it didn't cause much damage, it made Xiaoli stunned. How is this possible? Xiaoli looked at Sasuke in surprise. Both Tiantian and Neji couldn't help but raise their hands and rub their eyes, as if they couldn't believe what they saw. Tiantian beside him asked Neji with some uncertainty. "Neji, did I read wrong just now? This Uchiha kid actually beat Lee back?" Neji didn't answer, but his face became even uglier. Xiaoli, as the person involved, had the most obvious feeling. Sasuke. It seems to have become stronger, and it is still visible to the naked eye, and in terms of physical skills, it is completely a rocket speed increase. It seemed as if he was absorbing the essence of body art from him, and quickly integrated it into himself. Impossible. How could someone master the mystery of physical skills so quickly in battle? Even Neji can't do this at all. Xiaoli didn't believe in evil, and continued to rush forward to attack Sasuke, but the next second, Sasuke's counterattack almost interrupted Xiaoli's rhythm. The two of you come and go, and now it seems to have evolved into a situation of equal strength. Neji's eyes widened, watching Sasuke's every movement carefully. Compared to before, this guy's movements are faster, and his attacks seem to have the charm of Xiaoli's physical skills. Did this guy really learn Xiaoli's physical skills so quickly in the battle? Hear Neji's words. Tiantian shook his head. Impossible. Neji, is it possible to learn the opponent's tricks in battle? Said Tiantian's voice was a little softer. I'm afraid even you can't do it to this level. Neji nodded. I really can't do it. Guy, who was hiding in the dark, was extremely shocked in his heart now. Neji, Tiantian, they still can't see how terrifying Sasuke's change is. But Guy could totally see it. As a Konoha physical art master, how could he not see it? The Sasuke in front of him was just a rookie in gymnastics a few minutes ago. Although compared with ordinary genin, or even chunin, it is still somewhat level. But true taijutsu, although the foundation of ninja fighting, is also a powerful fighting technique. The mystery is not as simple as ordinary ninjas think. Speed and strength are the most basic requirements. More importantly, the change in the nick of the battle. This ability to respond is not something that can be developed casually. This is an ability that requires real battles, hundreds of thousands of battles, to be developed. And what about Sasuke? His talent surprised Guy. In the process of fighting Xiaoli, the speed visible to the naked eye is rapidly increasing. Even the ability to respond, which originally needs to be honed in actual combat. He forcibly raised it by virtue of his super talent. This kid, with his physical talent, is probably the scariest person ever. If we say that Xiaoli's talent is perseverance and perseverance. In a sense, this is also a powerful talent, but what about Sasuke? This guy is a real genius monster. From Guy's perspective, he could see the joy on Sasuke's face. Every second in the battle, Sasuke is getting stronger at a rapid speed. Xiaoli's skills were learned by Sasuke, and he mastered them at an incredible speed and became his own. And the next second, Xiaoli casts Leaf Hurricane again. No matter the power or posture of this blow, it can meet the standards in Guy's eyes. But Sasuke's movement made the corner of Guy's mouth twitch slightly. Sasuke caught Xiaoli Leaf Hurricane's only gap and kicked directly into the air. Xiaoli's attack was broken. Boom! Xiaoli, who fell to the ground heavily, looked at Sasuke with an incredulous expression on his face. His own Leaf Hurricane was cracked by Sasuke. A simple kick, in the eyes of Tiantian and Neji, it just feels that Sasuke is very strong. But in Guy's eyes, Sasuke has risen directly to the level of evildoer. Immaculate timing. Anyone who is faster or slower will be hit by Lee's physical skills. Leaf Hurricane. This is a basic physical technique developed by countless Konoha ninjas who specialize in physical arts. In essence, there is no flaw at all. Moves may not have fixed flaws, but people have flaws. Lee's gap was caught by Sasuke. Even if I'm afraid at that moment, I couldn't make a quick move and attack Lee's flaw. This kid, this kind of talent, it seems that he was born specifically for physical skills. Come again. Sasuke hooked his hands at Xiaoli, who was on the ground. Xiaoli gritted his teeth fiercely, and continued to stand up and fight. But the next battle will be different. Sasuke has absorbed enough nutrients, and his level of physical skills is slowly surpassing that of Lee. In just half an hour, Guy watched with his own eyes that his proud disciple was being overtaken in physical skills. In the end it was even overtaken. Of course, Lee has the advantage in terms of strength, and even faster than Sasuke. But in terms of physical skills, Sasuke is already stronger than Lee. What kind of monster is this? You were hiding your strength before. Are you doing this on purpose to humiliate me? Xiaoli got up from the ground and looked at Sasuke angrily. The kid didn't expect to think so. No, I didn't hide my strength. Impossible. Xiaoli is even more irritable now. If you are not hiding your strength, then how could you have such a change in such a short period of time? Even my leaf hurricane. All. Gently patted the dust off his body. Sasuke glanced at the system. Open black lens bracket basic physical art, Grandmaster, close black lens bracket another stage has been raised. Just fighting with Lee Locke for a short while has brought him up a notch. Sure enough, physical skills still need real combat to progress faster. The effect of exercise is, at best, to increase physical fitness. Strengthening physical fitness and strengthening physical skills are two different things. Isn't it just physical skills? Look at it and think about it for a while, then you will learn it. Sasuke said lightly. That's what he did, but such words sounded so harsh to Xiaoli's ears. Are you trying to say that you can easily learn my physical skills just by looking at them? Basically that's it. HMPH. Even a genius would never be able to do such a thing. Then maybe the genius you met is not strong enough. Sasuke glanced at Neji as he spoke. Although Neji is also known as a genius of the Hyuga clan. But compared with myself, that is too far away. I do not believe. Boom. Xiaoli broke out again. However, Xiaoli's attack this time seemed very ferocious. Sasuke showed even more superb physical skills, grabbed Xiaoli's elbow with his backhand, dragged it lightly, and kicked Xiaoli's chest quickly with one kick. Boom. Xiaoli, who was beaten out, froze in place. He was crushed. The opponent's physical skills became even stronger than him by a few points. How is this possible? How is this possible? Xiaoli kept mumbling in his mouth. Not only Xiaoli, Tiantian and Neji's expressions also changed. A guy who was barely able to fight against Xiaoli at the beginning, surpassed Xiaoli directly in just half an hour. In terms of physical skills, he directly became stronger than Xiaoli. Is this genius? Neji clenched his fists tightly and covered his mouth lightly every day. At this moment, Xiaoli, who is a little bit out of his mind, still wants to continue to try. However, the shot was directly counterattacked by Sasuke. Fly out with one blow again. After several times in a row, Xiaoli's expression seemed a little strange. There was no charm in his eyes. Could it be that hard work is really inferior to talent? If Xiaoli still firmly believed in the usefulness of hard work before, then now his own heart has begun to waver. I practiced hard, but the opponent surpassed me in less than half an hour. What is the use of your own efforts if you go on like this? Did you just give up like this? Stupid, don't you still have the weight off? Suddenly a voice sounded, and the moment the sound sounded, Sasuke hurriedly looked in that direction. Might Guy. With his hands folded on his chest, he was looking at Xiaoli with a serious face. Hearing this, Xiaoli came back to his senses. That's right, I still have the weight to lift. If the weight is lifted, then this kid will definitely not be my opponent. As soon as Xiaoli said that, he planned to release the weight. And that's what Sasuke wants to see. Now that Xiaoli is sparring with him, Sasuke can no longer feel the rapid progress. So it would be more effective for Xiaoli to become stronger. But, stop Lee. This is not a moment of last resort, the burden cannot be lifted. Hearing this, Lee was in great pain, but teacher, if you don't lift the weight on me, it will be. Is the outcome of a duel so important? Lee was speechless. Seeing that Lee didn't speak, Guy nodded. The reason why Lee was not allowed to lift the weight was not the reason Guy said, it was a last resort. It was because he was worried that if the heavy-duty battle was lifted, the evildoer would quickly catch up again. At that time, Xiaoli will completely lose his confidence. So Guy has to end this fight. He glanced at Sasuke. Genin of Uchiha, please leave. Next, I will give my Genin a mission. Guy thought Sasuke would leave like this. But Sasuke has just experienced the feeling of physical improvement, and now he is full of fighting spirit. Might Guy prevents Xiaoli from fighting him, then Sasuke can't bear it. It seems that you are his teacher, so your physical skills should be stronger. The disciple can't do it, then let the teacher fight with me. Sasuke provokes Might Guy. When he finished speaking, Neji was directly angry. Bastard, who do you think you are? What qualifications do you have to challenge our teacher? I'll come with you. Neji, stand back. Guy looked at Sasuke very seriously. He actually has the guts to challenge himself, this Jonin. Should this Uchiha kid be brave or not respectful? It doesn't matter which one it is. Guy glanced at Lee, who was a little frustrated, and Sasuke offered to axe, so he could use this opportunity to motivate Lee. Gather back the confidence he had just shattered. The Genin, have the courage to challenge me this Jonin. Your martial arts defeated my disciple. As a teacher, this is my responsibility, it's my lack of ability. But boy, you have to remember, it's not that my disciple is inferior to you. Too much nonsense, do you want to fight, Jonin Might Guy? Sasuke didn't care at all, it made Might Guy a little angry too. But being a Jonin is still manageable. Lee, look carefully, physical skills do not rely on talent alone. Physique requires more time to polish than any ninjutsu, and talent is only a small part. Sasuke understood a little bit. This guy didn't want to fight with him, but just wanted to use himself to help Lee regain his confidence and state. But it doesn't matter, Sasuke doesn't care about these. Fighting against Might Guy, physical skills will definitely be enhanced quickly. With his talent, even Might Guy Sasuke believes he will soon be able to extract more from this man. But before that, Sasuke needs to get ready. Slowly close your eyes. Open suddenly. Sharingan, open. 2 Goyu's Sharingan emerged on Sasuke's face. And the moment he saw the Sharingan, Guy was stunned. This kid has awakened Uchiha's blood inheritance boundary, and he is also a Sharingan with 2 hooks. But he didn't use it at all in the previous battle with Lee. Is it really a monster? And it wasn't just Guy who noticed Sasuke started Sharingan at this moment. Lee also stared at Sasuke's crimson eyes dumbfounded. This Uchiha's pupil art. Like Neji, the eyes have special changes. Although he doesn't know much about Sharingan, Lee also knows it clearly. Ninjas who have the Hitomi Jutsu blood succession boundary will gain more powerful insight when using the blood succession boundary. In other words, physical skills will become stronger. As for where I learned about it, there are companions like Neji. How could it be possible that Lee didn't know the basic information about the boundary of the pupil technique blood succession? However, just now the opponent didn't use his pupil technique at all, so he didn't feel that he had any threat to him at all. The battle between Sasuke and Guy hasn't started yet. Lee was hit again. Guy also felt very helpless about this. He didn't expect this kid from the Uchiha clan to defeat his proud disciple head-on without using the Sharingan. This kid's talent is too strong. When did Konoha show such an evildoer? Neji stared intently at Sasuke's red eyes, gritting his teeth gently. Facing Lee, even if I didn't take off the weight, I had to open my eyes to see Lee's movements accurately. But this guy hasn't even used the Sharingan. Hateful. Let's start, Teacher Jonin Might Guy. Guy froze for a moment. Sasuke actually knew himself? But now is not the time to focus on this. Now it is to regain confidence for his disciples. Therefore, Guy must also defeat this so-called genius boy in front of him with a destructive posture. Or use the simplest physical technique to defeat it. Otherwise, I'm afraid it won't be so easy for Lee to get out of Sasuke's shadow. I won't show mercy. The moment the voice fell, Afterimage appeared in front of everyone. Under Guy's astonishing speed, it even caused a gas explosion. The distance between the two is 10 meters, but in the next second, Guy appeared directly in front of Sasuke. For a split second, Sasuke's 2 Tomo Sharingan spun quickly. Insight is basically pushed to the limit by Sasuke. But even so, he only caught a little trace of Guy. So strong, as expected of Konoha's martial arts master, Might Guy. This speed is simply not comparable to Xiaoli. At this moment, Sasuke has no way to deal with it, he can only avoid it. And chose the safest way of evasion. Turning around, Sasuke fell straight down, rolling a donkey. At the same time, there was a burst of anger, and Guy was stunned for a moment, but Sasuke escaped. Although the dodging posture is very embarrassing, but he can dodge the blow when he is serious. It can be considered astonishing. However, it seems that we should hold back a little bit, if we maintain this serious state throughout the whole process. Sasuke couldn't dodge, and might be seriously injured by himself. Guy didn't want to hurt Sasuke either. Boom, continue stepping towards Sasuke. This time Sasuke's Sharingan was able to see Guy's afterimage more clearly. Is there any water? Exactly. If Guy maintains the terrifying posture just now, Sasuke has no way to resist. Not to mention improving one's physical skills through fighting. Sasuke tried to dodge this time. He turned around and narrowly avoided the attack. In the next second, Guy continued to attack. He was also surprised by Sasuke's reaction, the extreme dodge, which is simply outstanding for a genin. Bang bang bang. Guy even held back a little bit of strength. But every time he hits, it still dazzles people, even kicking the ground. A small hole burst open in the ground instantly. If this kind of power fell on ordinary people, they would definitely die instantly. Even ninjas like Genin and Chunin may lose their fighting power immediately after being hit. And what Guy wants is to kill Sasuke with one blow, so that Lee can regain his confidence in physical skills. However, on the one hand, he didn't want Sasuke to be hurt. On the one hand, it is necessary to achieve the effect of one-hit kill. In a short time, Guy didn't know how much force he should use. However, this also allowed Sasuke to stage a series of extreme dodges. Guy's movement had already attracted the attention of Anbu Ninja. At this time, even Kakashi, who happened to be not far away, came to a certain electric pile. Carefully observe the situation here, when I saw Guy and Sasuke fighting. Kakashi was surprised. How did Guy get into a fight with the brat Sasuke? Boom, another blow, and Guy was just in time for Sasuke to avoid it. There have been more than a dozen attacks in a row. Guy decided to push harder. Otherwise, if it continues like this, it will not achieve the effect he wants. Lee is also looking forward to the scene where his teacher defeats Sasuke. But watching Sasuke dodge more than a dozen attacks in a row, he felt even more uncomfortable. Faced with Guy's sudden acceleration, Sasuke sensed the danger this time. This is no joke. If this blow was hit, Sasuke felt that he might have to lie in bed for a few days. Jumping back abruptly, Sasuke pushed his speed to the limit. But Guy laughed. I can't escape at last. Backing up in a straight line to avoid the attack, Guy only needs to move forward a little bit, and he can easily hit the commander for help. But when he was about to take this step, Sasuke suddenly raised his hand. The hand seal at an astonishing speed. In less than half a breath, Sasuke completed the mudra. Seeing this, Guy's eyelids twitched slightly. This Uchiha boy has mastered ninjutsu. Not good. Guy retracted his fist immediately when he saw Sasuke's slightly puffed face. Turn around suddenly. Boom. Fire style, fire dragon technique. The flames swept across Guy's side quickly and straightly. The lingering flames were extremely fast and directly impacted more than 10 meters away in the blink of an eye. The high temperature emitted by the flames caused a heat wave to blow on the faces of Guy, Xiaoli and others. At this moment, Lee was extremely shocked. He can also fire style. Not only physical skills, but even ninjutsu, so amazing. Neji, it's so fast that you can finish ninjutsu before sensei attacks. Tiantian, good, strong. The people who were more surprised at the moment were Guy and Kakashi. Only they know what kind of level that fire style was just now. Even the average Jonin would never be able to master this level of fire style. From the perspective of Kakashi and Might Guy, it is not difficult to see the fire dragon technique that Sasuke just released. Just how terrifying. If there is the most standard release of this technique, then just now Sasuke has achieved a textbook level ninjutsu release. Even more than that. Whether it is the strength of the flame or the shape of the flame, they are all perfect. And Kakashi can also see that this guy Sasuke even made a change. Gather together the flames that should have spread by controlling them in your own way. This made a C-level ninjutsu explode almost instantly with a power comparable to that of an A-level ninjutsu. However, the distance is somewhat lacking, and the damage effect also drops rapidly after the distance exceeds 10 meters. If it's just a general way of thinking, then what Sasuke did in the second half is not perfect. But Kakashi doesn't think that's the case. This is the result of Sasuke's perfect ninja control. Concentrate the most powerful moment of the flame in the range of 5 to 10 meters away from yourself. The advantage of this is that basically not too much chakra is wasted. The last time Kakashi watched Sasuke unleash this ninjutsu, it was far from the current level. But now there have been earth-shaking changes. I am afraid that even if the doctor of ninjutsu called Konoha, the current third Hokage, can't do it more perfectly than Sasuke in this ninjutsu. Thinking of this, Kakashi couldn't help taking a breath. And the next second Sasuke moved quickly. Since you can't do pure physical combat, then take this opportunity to try to see the gap between yourself and elite Jonin. Sasuke thought so in his heart. The movements of the hands are fast. Raise your hand directly to open the ninja bag. Immediately after Guy's puzzled eyes, Sasuke quickly threw no less than 10 kunai. These kunai shot at Guy quickly. Guy dodges. In the next second, shurikens flew by one after another, not aimed at Guy. He was chasing those shurikens. Jingle. After a burst of noise, the collision between the shuriken and kunai changed the trajectory directly. Some hidden weapons even turned around and shot towards Guy. When Guy came back to his senses, he suddenly found himself surrounded by these hidden weapons. Basically blocked all dodge angles. At this moment, Sasuke's throwing technique was directly shocked by Tiantian. Concealed weapons, can you still use them like this? Both Neji and Xiaoli were also shocked. With the blessing of Sharingan, Sasuke's throwing skills are even more amazing. Not to mention the three of them, even Guy is feeling emotional in his heart at this moment. Now the little devils, are they all this powerful? But it's right to think about it. After all, Sasuke's terrifying physique talent may not be all the talent of this kid. Amazing attainments in ninjutsu, and the throwing technique is also so powerful. It can only be said that this guy from the Uchiha family is indeed a genius. However, might Guy is Konoha's blue beast moment. Guy noticed a flaw and headed directly in that direction with an extremely exaggerated gesture. Dodged several kunai in a row. At this moment, Kakashi frowned. Guy, you've been fooled. At the same time, Sasuke, who has quickly completed the seal, is just ready to explode in ninjutsu. Fire style. The fire is gone. Sasuke didn't know when he was already in the air. It is less than 10 meters above the ground, and not far below is where Guy is now. In an instant, a terrifying flame like a small meteorite erupted from Sasuke's mouth. Slammed straight in Guy's direction. As soon as Guy stood still, a huge flame appeared above his head. And the distance is already close at hand. At this moment, Guy also understood. I was actually tricked by a genin kid. This was Guy's own carelessness. He didn't expect a genin brat to know how to set traps in battle. And also has such amazing fire-style ninjutsu. Although it seems that this fire-style ninjutsu, Sasuke's control is not as good as the fire dragon technique just now. But the problem is, the power of this fire-style ninjutsu is definitely stronger than that of fire dragon technique. This should be a genuine A-level ninjutsu. A genin who has mastered a class fire-style ninjutsu. Such a genius, Guy was completely unpredictable. The flames slowly fell, and at this moment, Guy's gaze became serious. He's getting serious. Boom! A violent explosion sounded. This large open space was almost instantly covered in flames. And Neji, Tiantian and others were even blown away by the strong airflow. It was hard to stabilize his figure. When they looked up again, they saw the bursting flames, and the three of them were stunned. The power of this ninjutsu is so terrifying. At the same time, they were more worried about Guy's situation. Teacher, you bastard, you actually gave the teacher away. Neji and Xiaoli's eyes turned red immediately. And Sasuke, who fell at this time, seemed to be on guard against something. Sure enough, the next second, a black shadow appeared directly. The speed was too fast for Sasuke to react in time. He raised his hand hastily to block it, but was kicked away by the opponent. His body slammed into the ground more than 10 meters away like a cannonball. Even after that, it kept rolling. After rolling for 5 or 6 meters, it slowly stopped. The moment he stopped, Sasuke just looked up. In the next second, a fist stopped in front of Sasuke. Looking up, Sasuke looked at Might Guy with flames on his shoulders and a few locks of hair on fire. Boy. You lost, Sasuke sighed helplessly. Although his own ninjutsu is comparable to Jonin, even elite Jonin has to avoid the edge for the time being. But what is lacking lies in the basic physical skills, and even the most basic strength and speed. But since I am weak in this aspect, I should continue to strengthen training. And the guy in front of him is the best training object. Sasuke looked up at him. Really, I can continue. Let's stop here, Sasuke. Kakashi's voice sounded, and Kakashi used the body flicker technique to come to Sasuke behind Sasuke, put his hands in his pockets and looked at Sasuke lying on the ground. You are already amazing to be able to fight this guy to this extent. Kakashi, this brat, is your student? Ah, that's right, he's Genin from my 7th class, and I'm their guide Jonin now. Guy has a strange expression now. Kakashi's disciple defeated his own disciple, so wouldn't he lose to Kakashi again? Guy's expression became weird, and based on Kakashi's understanding of Guy probably thought of something. But this time Kakashi is not appropriate to axe. Sasuke. Kakashi came out. Sasuke already knew it was impossible to continue. And if it continues, it will really not give Kakashi face, and Guy may not be merciful at that time. At his current level, he is no match for Guy at all. Got it, Kakashi-sensei. Sasuke stood up slowly and bowed to Might Guy. And nodded slightly in the direction of Xiaoli. Thank you for your advice. These two simple actions directly changed a few people's views on Sasuke. I feel that Sasuke seems to be very polite, but why was he so arrogant before? Is it just because his teacher is here, so he deliberately behaved? However, at this time, the three of them suddenly saw Sasuke smiling. Kakashi and Guy are also a little confused, so what is Sasuke laughing at? Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to host, successfully reached the general Genin level. Close black lens bracket. Reward. Excellent physique. Open black lens bracket. Whether to receive. Close black lens bracket. No one can see the system interface except Sasuke. So no one would understand why Sasuke couldn't bear to laugh now. And the joy in Sasuke's heart now is really hard to hide. It's really done. Is it really because physical skills are holding you back? Excellent physique. The last time was perfect talent. The reward of perfect talent directly lets Sasuke see what is the world of genius. And now this excellent physique, I don't know if Sasuke will explode directly. It should be able to increase my chakra volume. If the amount of chakra can keep up, relying on this talent, I am afraid that it will not be a problem to quickly upgrade to cage level. But now is not the time to claim this reward. To be on the safe side, go home and collect the rewards. Looking at Sasuke, who didn't know why he was laughing. At this moment, Neji looked at Xiaoli, and then at his teacher. Whether it's Xiaoli or Guy, the faces of both of them are not very good. Because Sasuke's smile looks like he's laughing at them. This is something Neji cannot tolerate. He has been considered a genius since he was a child, but because he was born in a branch house, he has to carry a caged bird that cannot be lifted for a lifetime. And Sasuke's smile is now like those of the clan. It's the same as mocking him, a genius who was born in a branch house. It's just Uchiha. What qualifications do you have? Dare to laugh at us? After a while, Sasuke felt that his smile was a bit inappropriate. Quickly received and prepared to leave, and this time, Neji made a sudden shot and directly blocked Sasuke's front. Kakashi frowned. What is the kid of the Hyuga clan planning to do? Sasuke, who was blocked, was also puzzled. What's up with this Hyuga Neji? Uchiha. Sasuke. Neji pronounced Sasuke's name slowly. Guy on the side wanted to pull Neji away. What are you doing, Neji? Get out of the way. Teacher. I will never allow anyone to provoke us and laugh at us, and leave so easily. Seeing this, Kakashi also spoke. Hyuga's, Sasuke, he didn't. Hatake Kakashi-sensei, I'm sorry, but I can't back down this time. This is not only about our team, there is a more important reason. Saying that, Neji looked at Sasuke. Hyuga and Uchiha, known as Konoha's two blood successor limit families. Whether it is Baian or Sharingan, other ninjas in the ninja world are very eager to get. And this time the people of the Uchiha clan provoked me, Hyuga. If I bow my head, I will shame the Hyuga clan. Hearing what Neji said, Kakashi suddenly felt dizzy. Even Might Guy felt a little helpless. So Uchiha Sasuke, Do you dare to bet your family's honor and fight with me? Challenge? Sasuke didn't expect that Neji would jump out to challenge himself at this time. After seeing your own strength, you still have the courage to challenge, not bad. But family glory for Sasuke? Do you still have that thing? The Uchiha clan has been wiped out, and I am the only one left. To bear the burden of the family is simply asking for trouble. I reject. Kakashi, who didn't know how to end it, was very surprised to hear Sasuke's refusal. Because Neji has risen to the height of the family, Sasuke refused. But this also made Kakashi very gratified. It seems that Sasuke still understands the importance. Humph, cowardly fellow, Uchiha is no big deal after all. Sasuke wouldn't pay attention to this guy. Would he fall for this kind of inferior aggressive method? Open black lens bracket. The host family was despised and provoked. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Host, please accept the challenge and prove that Sharingan is the strongest blood successor in Konoha. Close black lens bracket. Reward: Sharingan Advanced Cultivation Method. This practice method allows Sharingan to continue to advance and at the same time achieve a perfect advanced effect. Sharingan Cultivation Method? The system still has this kind of thing? Sasuke is still worrying about how he can upgrade Sharingan. At the same time, the worry is how to evolve Mangekyo. You must know that even if Itachi is killed, Sasuke probably cannot awaken Mangekyo. After all, the current Sasuke is not the original Sasuke. I don't have that much affection for Itachi. At most, it is admiration and admiration. When Neji was depressed because Sasuke refused, Sasuke, who had already left, stepped back again. Okay, I agree with your challenge. Neji froze for a moment. He didn't understand why he didn't agree just now. Why did he change his mind again in less than 3 seconds? What the hell is this guy doing? But it doesn't matter. Okay, a month later, we will be fighting in the Konoha arena. Invite all Konoha ninjas to witness who is stronger, Hyuga or Uchiha. Hearing this, Sasuke had a toothache. Isn't the co-author playing now? Hasty. We can now. Also, 1 month later, don't forget, I will be waiting for you. Neji turned and left without giving Sasuke a chance to say anything more. This time it was Sasuke's turn to be helpless. Why wait until a month later? Can't now. However, Neji will not be so stupid. He has to take advantage of this month to practice hard. Be sure to catch up to Sasuke. Once he completes that trick, even Sasuke will be defeated by him. I didn't expect Sasuke to be so amazing. Inside Hokage's office, looking at Sasuke, Kakashi and others who were still in place, Hiruzen was already worried. The movement of the battle was so loud that even the Anbu ninjas noticed it, so naturally they couldn't escape Hiruzen's eyes. Although he didn't have time to see the fight between Lee and Sasuke, but saw the second half of the Guy and Sasuke fight. From the scene where Guy is forced to the location designated by Sasuke with a hidden weapon, and the scene where Sasuke releases the fire and disappears. Even just these images have Hiruzen lost in thought. It seems that my judgment of Uchiha Sasuke is still not accurate. This kid was able to fight Guy, although the final outcome is that after Might Guy got serious, Sasuke quickly lost. But the problem is only because Sasuke's physical skills are too far behind. Can't keep up with Might Guy's speed, that's why this happens. In the future, as Sasuke grows older, he will practice gymnastics at the same time. Once Sasuke has the power to fight back when facing Guy, then at that time, Sasuke's terrifying talent in ninjutsu will be used. It's Might Guy who should be the one to worry. In the future, Sasuke's physical skills will come up. So today, the situation may be about to undergo a huge change. The talent of Uchiha Sasuke must not lead him down the wrong path. I got it started, while Hiruzen was thinking. Suddenly the office door was kicked open violently. Hear the sound of the door opening. Hiruzen knew who it was without even thinking about it. Danzo, how many times have I said, knock on my door before you come in? Danzo, who broke in, didn't care about Hiruzen's attitude at all. Sarutobi, how did you become a Hokage, a kid from the Uchiha clan with such amazing talents? You have allowed him to grow up to this point, and even arranged for him to be with Jinchuriki. It's fine if you don't agree to let me take over Jinchuriki, but now you have to let that Uchiha person go. Boom, enough. Hiruzen slammed the table and stood up straight. At this moment, Shinobi actually exploded. Even Danzo frowned. I'm Hokage, I don't need you to teach me how to do it. Okay, you are Hokage, but now Uchiha's problem, what do you want to do? As he said that, Danzo quickly said, give it to me, that kid from Uchiha, and I'll train him into Konoha's most terrifying sword. He will become the sharpest sword in Konoha's darkness. I can guarantee that with such a talent, he will. Impossible. Hiruzen gave the answer directly. Uchiha Sasuke cannot be handed over to you. Hiruzen, you'll regret it. Danzo turned and left. If it weren't for the root ninja today, it was reported that Konoha's elite Jonin, Might Guy would have fought against Uchiha Sasuke. Danzo didn't even know that such a genius appeared under his nose. And the important thing is that it is still the Uchiha family. Sarutobi, since you don't want to hand over this Uchiha's to me, then I will use my own method. Danzo thought of Uchiha Itachi, but if Sasuke didn't have such talent, he wouldn't do anything to Sasuke. But Sasuke's talent made Danzo have to pay attention. How many Jonin in the entire ninja world can fight against Might Guy? Not to mention that Sasuke is just a genin who just graduated. A brat. A 12-year-old kid who did what no number of Jonins could. Uchiha. Sasuke. Danzo glanced out the window. Then turn around and leave the Hokage building quickly. At this moment, Hiruzen in the office sat down slowly. Danzo, that guy must not be honest. Sasuke is worth developing. Once Danzo secretly shot Sasuke, there is no way for Hiruzen to stop it at any time. It seems that Sasuke needs to be away from Konoha for a while. And taking advantage of the time to let Sasuke leave Konoha, arrange several people in the 7th class to completely integrate into one body. With care in this way, they can be further guided and embarked on the right path. Thinking of Hiruzen looking at the crystal ball in front of him. Kakashi is talking to Might Guy, and Sasuke is gone. Come on. Swish. An Anbu ninja appears. Master 3rd generation, please command. Go. Find Kakashi, and let me take a look at the commission Konoha has received recently. Yes. Anbu ninja disappears. Soon Kakashi appeared in the Hokage building. At the moment, Hiruzen is staring at AC level assignment. The mission entrusted is to escort a bridge repairer back to the Land of Waves. But this task was rejected many times. Hiruzen could clearly feel that this task was unusual. But the Land of Waves is just a small country on the edge of Konoha. In a situation like this, Hiruzen can guess all kinds of things just by looking at them. There should be a threat from ninjas. However, ninjas in ordinary small villages are at most as strong as B-level missions. Kakashi, I'm here, Master 3rd generation, do you have any orders? Tomorrow, you take the 7th class to perform this C-level mission. Take a C-level mission? Fortunately, he originally planned to take Sasuke and others to accept a C-level mission. However, the purpose of the 3rd generation should not be as simple as asking them to accept C-level tasks. After a month, the 7th class is almost ready, but they still need to go through the baptism before they can become each other's bonds. Kakashi understood. I understand, Lord 3rd generation. It's good to understand. Both Naruto and Sasuke, they both had very similar childhoods. I believe they will become very good friends. At the same time, we will help each other to protect Konoha's peace in the future. Kakashi nodded, sure. When Kakashi and Hiruzen arranged a bond for Naruto Sasuke. At this time Sasuke had just returned home, and very excited to open the system. Excellent physique. I don't know how much change this time will bring me. The change Sasuke most wanted was to increase the amount of chakra. Once the amount of chakra increases, Sasuke is like diving into the sea and soaring into the sky. Receive award. Open black lens bracket. It has been identified. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Rewards are being distributed. Please wait. Close black lens bracket. The voice of the system rang in Sasuke's mind. In the next second, Sasuke felt an unprecedented pleasure in his body. It's like he is like a sponge, his whole body is soaked in the sea. Frantically swallowing the nutrients in the seawater. And its endless devouring, such a situation made Sasuke almost couldn't help crying out. This feeling didn't last long, but to Sasuke it feels like a whole year has passed. Every cell in the body is cheering, every part of the body is breathing. Even for a split second, Sasuke seemed to feel something strange in the air. Weird energy. This ability seems to be absorbable. However, it is not waiting for Sasuke to feel carefully what it is. The feeling disappeared in the next second. Sasuke slowly opened his eyes. The first time he raised his eyes, Sasuke lowered his head and took off his clothes to check his body. Excellent physique. The body doesn't seem to have changed at all. But Sasuke carefully looked at the muscles on his body, if there were any changes. It seemed that the muscle lines on his body looked more obvious. The muscles are also slightly bulging, although not as exaggerated as a professional bodybuilder. But it seems that Sasuke has the golden ratio of muscle lines. Gently clenched his fist. The strength seems to have become stronger? This is just Sasuke's general feeling. In fact, a person can't judge whether his own strength is big or small. But there are other ways to judge. Sasuke grabbed the water glass on the table casually. The strong grip in the next second directly split the cup. Seeing this, Sasuke is sure that his power has become stronger. He didn't use too much force just now, but it made the cup crack directly. This shows that his strength has become stronger, and it has not only doubled. The improvement brought about by excellent physique is to make the body stronger? If it's just that, it seems that this reward is far worse than the perfect talent. Sasuke was about to return to the bed and put on his clothes. He just raised his legs 2 steps, and walked to the bedside extremely quickly. Even just walking around creates a whirlwind. Has the speed also increased? The changes brought about by the excellent physique seem to be more than that. But there is no way to test it at home. Sasuke sighed and seemed to have to run out of Konoha again. Come to the outside of Konoha village, the secret training place that Sasuke was looking for. It's just that Sasuke couldn't restrain the joy in his heart when he came here. Sasuke endured before leaving Konoha, but after leaving Konoha, Sasuke exploded directly. Running in the forest with all his strength, even without using super speed, Sasuke found that his speed was more than twice as fast as before. And Sasuke also found that the amount of chakra has also increased apart. Of course this is not the point is that Sasuke tries to use ninjutsu, and this time the flow of chakra is smoother. Suddenly, there was a feeling that all the 8 meridians seemed to be opened up. The flow of chakra is not hindered in the slightest but is extraordinarily relaxed. And chakra erupts faster. Now Sasuke seems to understand the changes brought about by excellent physique. It's not just things like speed and strength, it's more like turning the body into a treasure, and it's like warriors in the world of martial arts, turning the acquired into the innate. Sasuke jumped up and down excitedly, as if he had endless energy to vent. After some intense fighting, he didn't even feel tired at all. Is this directly opening infinite fatigue? Certainly not infinite fatigue. It's just that Sasuke's level of tossing is not enough to make him feel tired. In that case, let's try basic gymnastics training now. Basic gymnastics training, Sasuke wanted to start a long time ago. But the problem was Sasuke wanted to develop his talents as much as possible. It's different now, the body has changed so dramatically. The basic training of gymnastics is to train strength, speed, endurance and so on. Now training these can not only help Sasuke quickly adapt to his own enhanced strength, but also see whether the excellent physique will allow Sasuke to quickly strengthen through training. Push-ups, squats, leapfrogs, sit-ups, these basic training movements will not be mentioned. As soon as Sasuke comes up, 500 will come first. Each movement comes to 500, but after one operation, Sasuke only felt that the cells in his body were burning. But other than that, it didn't feel too exhausting. Even the effect of exercise, Sasuke can feel it very quickly. If now there is a detailed display, then you will see. Strength plus 0.1 speed plus 0.1 stamina plus 0.1 stamina plus 0.1. All the values of the body are increasing bit by bit. This enhancement can still be felt slowly. From noon to night, Sasuke has been immersed in training. It wasn't until nightfall that Sasuke came back to his senses, and before he knew it, it was already night. Go home. Sasuke sat on the bed. After training, not only did not make Sasuke tired, but he felt more comfortable. It seemed that that kind of training intensity was simply not enough to consume Sasuke's energy. But it's night now, and it's impossible to continue training. If the body is not tired, the mind also needs rest. So Sasuke sat cross-legged on the bed, and these days Sasuke was getting used to it, using chakra extraction instead of sleep. However, as Sasuke began to refine chakra, there was a new discovery. In the past, Sasuke performed up to 5 to 6 times a night, and it took a lot of effort to barely achieve 7 times of refining. But tonight Sasuke obviously felt that after refining the chakra 4 times, there seemed to be no problem at all. Continue to refine the chakra. Sasuke refined nearly 10 times of chakra throughout the night. This instantly increased Sasuke's chakra by nearly a tenth. This growth rate made Sasuke even more excited. However, it is early morning now, and it is time to assemble, and Sasuke cannot continue to refine chakra. I can only pack up and go out, but today Sasuke has an unbearable smile on his face. When we came to the assembly point, Naruto and little Sakura were already here. Seeing Sasuke's arrival, the two waved and greeted Sasuke. "Good morning, Sasuke-kun. Sasuke, you are the last one today." "Okay, the last one." Sasuke froze for a moment. "That bastard Kakashi will not be late someday." "How? Transgender today? Not even late." Thinking of Sasuke, he looked towards the tree beside him. This guy is still holding a copy of Intimate Heaven and reading it. "Alright, everyone is here," saying that Kakashi jumped down from the tree. "Then let's get down to business. Go back and pack up, and prepare to leave the village to perform tasks." Seeing Naruto and little Sakura's puzzled look, Kakashi smiled, "Satisfying you. Haven't you always disliked D-level missions? Today I picked up a C-level person and escorted someone to the country of Nami, so I need to leave Konoha for a while. Time." Sasuke was stunned for a moment. The mission of the Kingdom of Waves came so soon. Okay, not bad. Now Sasuke has long wanted to fight against Jonin to see what level of strength he is. And the Peachland will not be cut again as a good goal. Kakashi also looked at Sasuke. He felt that Sasuke was in a good mood today. Sure enough, he is a brat, knowing that he is going to leave the village. Even a kid like Sasuke can't keep aloof. Sooner or later, this kid's arrogant personality must be reversed. "Okay, let's go back and pack up. When you're ready, go to the Hokage building to gather. Before you leave, you need to report to Master Hokage, and at the same time, go meet the person we need to escort this time." Following Kakashi's order, the three quickly dispersed. And at this time Kakashi looked in Sasuke's direction suspiciously. "Is it my illusion? This kid's footsteps are even softer. It's just that the sound of footsteps naturally can't explain too many problems, but the lighter the footsteps are, the speed has not changed at the same time. This usually means that the opponent has made a new breakthrough in speed, and only then can the control of power be more precise. Improved again? Is it just because of fighting guy yesterday that he has progressed to this point? This kid." The three went home to pack their things and soon assembled at the Hokage building. Before leaving, third Hokage gave verbal encouragement and support to Sasuke and others, and as third Hokage, he also showed how he took care of several people as Hokage. It can only be said that it is worthy of being third Hokage, and there is still a way to buy people's hearts. Even Sasuke was almost touched by the old man for a moment. But as the third generation who participated in the destruction of the Uchiha family, although the destruction of Uchiha was not his hands. But he acquiesced. Although Sasuke is not the original Sasuke, it is difficult to have any good feelings for this old man. And after third generation's performance, they also met the person who needed to be escorted this time, Dasna, the uncle of the Land of Waves. "Just send these little ghosts to escort me? Can they do it?" Kakashi smiled. "Don't worry, although they still look like brats, they are all qualified Konoha shinobi practitioners. Besides, it's just a C-level task. Even if they can't do it, there's me, Konoha Jonin Hatake Kakashi. The task of this level is enough for me alone." Hearing that Dasna stopped talking, Naruto was very angry. Being questioned by others made him very upset. Sasuke didn't say a word as if he wasn't affected at all. This surprised Kakashi a little bit. Logically, Sasuke's arrogant character would probably be annoyed if he was looked down upon by an ordinary person. Even if you don't attack, you will be a little angry. But Sasuke was very calm. This shows that Sasuke may just be very arrogant to people who are also ninjas. Ordinary people probably don't care about each other's opinions at all. Leave Konoha village. The group didn't walk too fast. Considering Dasna, an ordinary person, they could only walk slowly. This is also convenient for Sasuke. The mission this time is quite boring. The only thing he looks forward to is the opportunity to fight against Momochi again. During the time on the road, Sasuke didn't want to talk much, and followed silently at the end of the team. Then practice not mudra. And Sasuke's small actions, of course, can't be hidden from anyone. Naruto was a little speechless. "Hurry up, do you want to use it for practice?" Naruto took the initiative to talk and Sasuke raised his head and responded, "If you don't make progress, you will be surpassed by others. What's more, I must become stronger." Hearing this, Naruto thought Sasuke wanted to be Hokage too. suddenly a little speechless. You bastard, it's fine if you're more talented than me, but you're still working so hard. You're not giving us a way out. Naruto is distressed. Kakashi sighed silently. For revenge, it seems that it is not so simple to transform Sasuke. Naruto. People who are more talented than you work harder than you. If you want to become Hokage, you have to work harder. Naruto pouted helplessly. He wanted to practice, but he didn't know what to practice. Cultivating seals feels like imitating Sasuke, and he is a little reluctant. But there is nothing else to cultivate in cultivation. It seems to have seen the thoughts in Naruto's mind. Kakashi also laughed at himself. Yes, Sasuke has family ninjutsu that can be practiced, and at the same time has amazing talent. And Naruto and little Sakura don't have any ninjutsu to practice, and the teacher who wants to strengthen himself should think of a way for them. Okay, don't be discouraged, I will give you some special training when we arrive in the Kingdom of Waves. Hearing this, Naruto regained his spirit. Really, Teacher Kakashi? Several people were about to leave the scope of Konoha village while talking. At this time, the leaves are underground, at the root. Danzo was growling angrily. Damn Sarutobi, actually let that kid out of Konoha. Is this to guard against me? Very good. If you dare to release him from Konoha, then the old man will make him never return to Konoha. HMPH, since you don't want the old man to cultivate such a genius, then destroy it. Anyway, Uchiha's people are a disaster for Konoha. Danzo looked at a document on his desk. He raised his hand and summoned a root ninja. Throw the documents on the table directly to the other party. Send this thing to Yin'an village. He nodded silently to Feng Mo, then took the file, turned around and disappeared directly. Leaving Danzo alone in the dim room, he let out a weird laugh. Humph. Sarutobi, since you don't want to train that kid into a qualified weapon, then don't even think about it. That guy is very interested in the people of Uchiha. I believe he will thank me for giving him such a big gift. With that, Danzo turned and disappeared into the darkness. The speed at which the root transmits messages is much faster than that of Sasuke. It's not too far from Konoha to Yin'an village, in an underground secret base in Yin'an village. Orochimaru looked at another failed experimental subject in front of him, and said calmly to Kimimaro beside him. Get this guy out and throw it away. Okay, Lord Orochimaru. Looking at Kimimaro's figure, Orochimaru sighed. Unfortunately, I still can't cure your blood disease. Kimimaro's blood inheritance limit is very good, if there is no blood inheritance disease. Would be the ideal reincarnation for Orochimaru. Pity. Pity. While Orochimaru sighed, Kimimaro came in from the outside and brought a file with him. Master Orochimaru, this is what those guys gave you. Orochimaru smiled. Danzo, that old thing, haven't given up yet. An idiot who wants to be Hokage, but keeping in touch with Danzo is also necessary. After all, Orochimaru still needs the resources in Danzo's hands to conduct various experiments. But after Orochimaru opened the file sent this time, Orochimaru was completely stunned. Uchiha. Sasuke. Kimimaro frowned. Uchiha. Of course he has heard of this name. Konoha's two blood descendants of the Limit family, but unfortunately Uchiha has been exterminated. What an amazing little guy, he was able to fight Konoha's blue beast just after graduation. And also awakened two Tomo Sharingan, simply the perfect container. Orochimaru licked the corner of his mouth. Seeing Orochimaru's expression like this, Kimimaro was a little jealous of this guy who hadn't met yet. To be able to make Master Orochimaru care so much. Sharingan of the Uchiha clan. Snort. I don't know who is stronger or weaker than my blood successor limit boundary. Kimimaro. Danzo gave me a big gift this time. This guy is simply too suitable to be my container. But it still needs to be tested. Kimimaro lowered his head. Master Orochimaru, let me go. I'll help you see if this guy is qualified to be your container. Hearing this, Orochimaru looked up at Kimimaro. I want to see it for myself. However, it must not be discovered. This brat is with Hitaki Kakashi. Although Orochimaru is not afraid of Kakashi, but Kakashi's strength Orochimaru will not underestimate. As long as Kakashi wants to escape, Orochimaru is not sure that he can stop Kakashi. After all, Konoha's copy ninja is not in vain. Get ready, let's go to the Kingdom of Waves. On the other side, Sasuke and others have been away for most of the day. At their current speed, they will be able to reach the Kingdom of Waves in about a few more days. But now the first game of the Kingdom of Waves will begin. Before Sasuke got there, he saw a puddle of water on the ground not far away. This is too fake. He looked up at the sky. The sun was scorching, and there was actually a puddle of water on the extremely dry road. And it didn't look like it was evaporated by the sun at all. This kind of measurement is indeed only to deceive ordinary people. For ninjas, it is impossible for a ninja to find out. But there are exceptions. That's Naruto now, and he didn't realize it at all. Even little Sakura looked a few more times in surprise. However, due to lack of experience, little Sakura probably didn't think about the enemy. He didn't pay too much attention and walked straight over. And Kakashi took a look, and then saw Sasuke behind him, and put down his hands that had been in contact with the seal. The left hand moved closer to the ninja bag. See the subtle movement change. Kakashi just laughed. Sure enough, Sasuke is a genius. How can he be so keen to find problems when he is on a mission for the first time? Looks like it shouldn't be a big problem to hand it over to Sasuke. It seems that there is no need to worry too much. Kakashi will continue to watch this intimacy paradise with peace of mind. And he also speeded up intentionally or unintentionally, deliberately walking to the forefront. In this way, the two guys who attack first can only change from him to Sasuke and others. He wanted to see Sasuke's reaction, or maybe Kakashi wanted to see how the trio reacted to danger. The four of them walked slowly along the edge of the pool of water. After the last Sasuke stepped over, next second. Hush! The sound of iron chains sounded, and a ninja jumped out of the water beach. At the same time, another ninja came out of the bushes on the side. It's probably not the first time the two Chunin have been on such a mission. Fast and decisive. Hearing the voice, Naruto and little Sakura were startled, and just stared at the two guys who suddenly appeared with wide eyes. He was waving his weapon and slashing at them fiercely. At this moment, the minds of both of them were blank. And the ninja behind Sasuke waved his sickle and slashed fiercely toward Sasuke's neck. Little Sakura quickly covered her mouth. Zo. Before he finished speaking, Sasuke lightly stepped sideways, just to avoid the opponent's attack. A backhand punch slammed into the opponent's face. Another ninja saw his companion's attack dodged and was hit at the same time. He was a little surprised at the moment, but he was confused the next second. Because at some point, a piece of kunai had already cut his neck. Blood sprayed out instantly. Boom! Accompanied by the crisp impact sound, this guy was nailed to the tree by several kunai. At the same time, the ninja on the ground also had his arm broken and his leg bone crushed by Sasuke, making him unable to move. When Sasuke tied the guy up with a rope, when throwing it in front of Kakashi casually. Little Sakura and Naruto reacted belatedly. They looked at the screaming Chunin. The expressions of the two were a little dull. This person, is. Before Naruto could finish speaking, Kakashi squatted down. Look at the person in front of you. This should be aimed at Mr. Disowner. Ninja. This is not the content of a C-level mission. As he said that, Kakashi first glanced at Sasuke with a calm face, and then looked back at Dasna, who was also very surprised. Although he is not a ninja, nor does he understand the strength of a ninja. But the two people who rushed out suddenly were easily dealt with by a kid from Konoha. Even an ordinary person like him knows very well that the Konoha kid in front of him is very strong. And it's unbelievable to have such strength at such a young age. The ninjas of Konoha are indeed the strongest ninja village in the ninja world. Dasna sighed in his heart, and at this time Kakashi suddenly stood up and walked towards him. I think I need a reasonable explanation, Mr. Disowner. Kakashi said. At the same time, Kakashi is more concerned about another thing at the moment. Is that the first time Sasuke killed someone? Look at Naruto and little Sakura, they are completely overwhelmed by the sudden attack. Maybe it wasn't fear, but the two behaved more like they were facing ninjas from other villages for the first time. And what about Sasuke? In the first place, he did it directly. There is no reason at all, and it is extremely decisive. Also the shot is perfect. Whether it's throwing out Ku Wushuang for one person, or leaving a life alive, breaking the opponent's limbs to make sure the opponent has no resistance. Then tie it up with a rope just in case. This kind of decisiveness in killing and being cautious are nothing like what a kid at this age can possess. Thinking of this, Kakashi has some doubts. Sasuke may have fought the real enemy. And killed the other party. What do I need to explain? You accepted my mission, don't you know? Dasna's words at this time brought Kakashi back to his senses. HMPH. Ordinary sea-level missions don't include dealing with ninjas from other villages. And these 2 ninjas are obviously coming for you. I have reason to believe that you lied about the difficulty of the mission. Dasna panicked. If these Konoha ninjas give up the mission, then he will have only one dead end. And it wasn't just him who died, but the whole country of Bo. What followed was Dasna's tearful cry. Naruto and the others listened with gusto, and felt that their sense of justice was already bursting after hearing halfway through. But Sasuke didn't have time to listen to the old guy's nonsense. What is the relationship between the life and death of the Land of Waves and Sasuke? Sasuke now looked at the system interface that appeared in front of him. Congratulations to host, killing a ninja for the first time. Give a copy for persistent efforts. Reward, ninjutsu power enhancement. The power of ninjutsu below a level can be strengthened by 10 times, the amount of chakra used will not increase, and the difficulty will not increase, only the power will be enhanced. See the introduction of the system. Sasuke froze for a moment. The power of ninjutsu is enhanced. This reward is very good. Unfortunately, it can only strengthen ninjutsu below a level. This kind of reward is probably more useful to me now. In the future, any ninjutsu will be S level, and the senjutsu chakra will also be used. At that time, what kind of C-level ninjutsu and B-level ninjutsu probably didn't make an appearance at all. It's not bad though. Accept it. Open black lens bracket. Host, please choose a strengthened ninjutsu. Close black lens bracket. There is nothing to think about this, since it can only strengthen ninjutsu below a level. Then it is natural to strengthen the fire-style fire dragon technique. This number Sasuke has now reached an extremely terrifying state. Not only is it the most handy to control, but it doesn't consume much chakra at the same time. Coupled with the recovery speed of Sasuke's chakra, it can be said that a ninjutsu in 10 seconds can be completely consumed. But it's a pity that the power of this technique is a little less. If the power is strengthened by 10 times, it can at least be comparable to a level ninjutsu. In this way, an A-level ninjutsu that consumes less and can be easily controlled is suitable for ninjas of Chunin and below. Basically, it can be killed in one move. Of course, if it is a special Chunin or Genin, it will be different. Enhance fire style, fire dragon technique for me. Enhancing, please wait, open black lens bracket. Strengthening success. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Whether to give this ninjutsu a new name. Close black lens bracket. New name. Sasuke frowned and thought about it. Indeed, it should have a new name, too. After all, in terms of power, it is already comparable to a level ninjutsu. That's called fire style, fire dragon explosion. Open black lens bracket. Naming successful. Close black lens bracket. In the next second, Sasuke didn't feel too many changes, but it was about the fire style ninjutsu after its power was strengthened. Sasuke really wanted to find a place to try, but it's a pity that the task being carried out now naturally cannot just disappear for a while. Sasuke finished his work, seeing that Kakashi and others are still listening to Dasna talking about the Land of Waves. Sasuke got a little impatient, needless to say. Sasuke interrupted directly. Dishonor wanted to continue but didn't dare. Seeing that Sasuke's tone was not very good, he thought that Sasuke wanted to give up the mission. Very helpless look. However, Sasuke looked at Kakashi. If we finish the mission, we will be charged with failing the mission. Although the difficulty of the task varies, it is at best a B-level task. Mr. Kakashi, with you in the B-level task, it's not too difficult. Hearing this, Dasna looked at Sasuke with bright eyes. Just when he was very happy, Sasuke turned his head and looked at Dasna. As for the reward for the mission, since you can't get it now, you can always make it up in the future. That's right, the interest will be added. Hearing this, Dasna's face suddenly collapsed. This brat, does he care about money so much? Why is there not enough money? If you don't have enough money, you can have the cheek to ask others to help you? I'm used to it. If there is no money now, there will be no money in the future. Originally, Kakashi didn't intend to end the mission, but now Sasuke said so again. Let's continue. Your method is very good. Then this time, the mission will be temporarily changed to a B-level mission. As for the reward of the mission, the missing part will be gradually made up by the Kingdom of Waves in the future. Count the interest.